Live from Erie, Pennsylvania, this is Just the Tip, the
Jim.
show where we raw dog any and all topics. Today's topics, beating children and gym girls. Stay tuned, folks. We got a great one for you.
A little clarity,
I'm
guys.
Monty, and I am your friendly neighborhood jackass.
Little clarity, guys. We're not talking about gym girls beating children.
No, there's something else that gym girls can
That's
beat,
a couple
but we
episodes.
can't talk about that on YouTube.
That's a couple episodes down the road.
So we're just logging on to test this out, but this is a venture that King was looking to put together, and Monty was looking to put together. And we just want to share what our ideas are, our thoughts on different topics, whether it's a little bit into the political side of things or just something that's just crazy and off the wall. We do that from time to time.
We're very diversified in our fuckery, so grab a seat and let's get with it.
All right.
First topic: should you talk to girls at the gym?
Hold on. It's 2024. You're not supposed to talk to girls. You're supposed to leave them alone
From
and
gang
stay
signs.
away. You're supposed to stay far away from them. They told me so on Fox News.
Oh,
That's how you know it's real.
It's exactly how you know it's real.
all right. You're the one that came up with this topic, Monty. So you can go ahead and kick it off.
I came up with the topic.
You came up with the topic. Okay, this is my son Justin.
So I'm just asking a question because I have my own opinion.
So-
and
You had the question of should you talk to girls at the gym? Well, where are you at on that? What
I
prompts that
think
question?
that the gym overall is a pretty inappropriate place for the most part because when I'm at the gym, if I'm alone, I got my headphones on and I'm not really trying to talk to anybody. I'm there for a specific reason, and that's to work on myself. And I do find that most people who go to the gym and make a social hour, they kind of just make an ass of themselves.
See him walking around.
I kind of just look from a distance and I'm like, yo, they're looking pretty stupid right now, walking up to this girl that really doesn't, she's clearly like got a visor on. And
Right,
she's looking
yeah.
straight forward and you're bothering her. You're
Huge
looking
indicator.
stupid.
Huge indicator. When a girl's got a
You know-
baseball hat on, or the things like she's tunnel vision. In other words, she doesn't want being approached by anybody.
It's simple body language.
Yeah, I agree. However, you said inappropriate place. Now, me being your father, you know I am the king of inappropriateness. But it's always strategically placed when I am that way. I think that you can talk to anybody wherever the fuck you want, as long as you get
Absolutely.
the work done that you need to get done. It also has to be a consenting interaction. Like, don't force anything. Let it happen organically. If she comes up to you or whatever, and just small talk's cool. But yeah, going out of your way.
I think
wasn't
seeds are
thirst.
planted, you know what I mean? A hi here and there, a smile, that leads to a conversation eventually. But to just flag somebody down and go up to them, I feel like that's pretty inappropriate.
See, that's where I think the distinction comes in. If you're just kind of staring at her the whole... Which camera am I? You just kind of stare at her like this the whole time.
Both.
And then it's like, can I get your number? Huh? Like, that's creepy, and nobody wants to be approached like that. But just saying hi to someone and having a natural conversation is completely different. And
Totally.
so
That's even become taboo in society, though. Just talking about talking.
on social media, it became taboo.
Yeah,
True.
it gets
But
blurry.
Joey Swole is saving us from those girls.
Now, here's another thing. Here's another something that people don't really factor in is like, you can dress however you want, that's fine or whatever, but you're going to get the attention you want as well as the attention you don't want. So when you're wearing out fucking Gymshark yoga pants that show like your razor bumps and your creases,
Yeah.
Guys are going to get in there and they're going to, the people that aren't cultured are going to come in, they're going to say some dumbass shit. You know what I mean? So you're going to get, that's the attention you don't want, but you do want the other guy that's pretty studly, like, this guy over here, my old ass self. You're going to want them to talk to you. I get that possibly. And Monty as well.
No.
Come on.
No.
Don't sell yourself short. But anyway, no.
I
You're
stopped
going to
growing
get
in the third
girls.
grade.
Girls
It's
need
the
to
only thing I
understand
knew.
that. Like, you dress like that, you're going to get approached by creeps. It's just going to happen. Whatever you do, you're going to get the result you want, and you're going to get the result you
So
don't want.
you're basically the guy that they warned us about the bear.
That's it.
I'm not sure. I'm still not privy to the bear situation.
Explain
so.
the bear. Yeah, is that something?
I don't
new?
even know. I
Dude,
just know people are mad about it.
I looked
Talking
into
to
it
Cocaine
yesterday.
Bear?
No.
And I know that
I looked
he's-
into it
he's the
yesterday
guy that
because
they
I've seen
warn us
memes.
about.
Yeah. So that was it was a follow-up meme to the original question. So for some reason, the internet just wanted to jump on the fast track of all men are the enemy, and literally asked the question: Do you feel safer with a wild bear, or do you feel safer with a strange man, somebody you don't know? What are you taking your chances with?
Please tell me the girls answering this had an IQ point in the triple digits.
I
I don't know how the IQ scale works.
I don't know if there was one.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, who is the sample size that we're asking this question for, though?
Don't know. And how do we just group everybody all into the same
So
category?
was that a bad thing that I'm the guy that warned about the bear?
Yeah.
That's what they're
Yeah,
saying. They're
that's-
using that as a negative piece. So if you commented and said, even, what is this about? Or you're literally saying that you feel more comfortable with this than a random man, and they're going to take their chances of getting eaten by a bear over a chance of interacting with somebody that is a random man they don't know.
Right, but like I'm not the guy that's going to go up and
But
point
you
out
said-
No. If you commented on it or said that's stupid, don't lump all men together, they'll say, you're the man.
Like you're gonna get like this the comment
Yes.
comment that you're gonna get the attention that you're looking for is what it would have been.
Yep.
So it's another way to divert accountability.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. It's deflection at its finest.
Copy that.
But that's the problem, is that, like, it's a load of bull when someone says looks don't matter, because looks do matter. Now that doesn't mean we got to look like Ryan Reynolds, but when you're unkept, when you're dirty, when you're wearing a thong in the middle of the gym, like, the way you're dressed and the way you look is gonna indicate things about you, and people are gonna assume that. Like,
Presentation's everything.
exactly.
People have
Like,
never given me a weird look when I had a thong on in the gym.
Well, that's because you're
It's,
sexy.
I wouldn't say presentation's everything, but it's your initial. It's the cover of the book, and yes, the
Yeah.
contents.
Your
matter
brand.
More.
We were
It's
talking
your
about that
brand,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah, the contents of the book actually are what matters the most. But like, how do you want to sell your book? Do you want to come out there all crusty with a beat up cover, like shit drawn all over the cover of the book that just looks fucking haphazard, and be an amazing person, underneath? Or do you want the total package? Do you want to, like, hey, this book looks great, I'm gonna fucking read it, and actually the contents follow the cover?
Look at the commercial for anything. It could be the worst product ever, but the commercial's beautiful, and people, like, because they're trying to sell that product, and your appearance is essentially a commercial of yourself. Like, if you're 300 pounds sitting on the couch in the basement with a neck beard eating nacho cheese all day, yeah, that's a little different.
Watching porn, turning your dick orange.
That's right. Oh!
How'd I get Cheeto dust on
Stay away
that?
from the flaming hot.
Yes.
I know from experience. No.
But that's the point. But the point is, like, certain things indicate certain traits.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if your teeth are yellow, obviously that means you don't brush your teeth.
Yep.
So if you're wearing a thong in the gym, people are gonna assume that you're there looking for something
Yeah.
other than a workout.
You're garnering something. You're garnering attention, with both negative and positive. You're gonna get creepers that just aren't accustomed to seeing that, and like the first time they see that, they're like, "Oh my god, shiny," and they don't know how to control themselves.
Woman.
Right. So let's move on to the next topic. This is not beating your kids as it initially started off at the beginning of the show,
Oh,
but like
I'm out.
actually
I'm out.
disciplining your
Bye.
disciplining your children with physicality.
As the only one here without kids, I will go last.
Well, I can tell you, and especially being the father figure, and even the father figure for kids that aren't biologically mine, I'm the disciplinary. And that's the role that historically we've played, and it's the role that is genetically programmed within us. And there is a time and a place for physicality with a child. I will argue that point with anybody who wants to tell me no. I had that same experience, and I can remember of times that accountability, had those issues myself. And when I caught that ass whipping, I'm like, yeah.
So
I
what
get it.
you're
Guess what I didn't do again?
Right.
Well,
You
I did. I
associate-
just hit it better. But
So what you're saying is sometimes it's okay to yeet a child.
as long as you say yeet at the same time,
You
and
got it. Just yeet. Okay. Okay.
So I like your approach. You seem to be the voice of reason. Personally, I'll fuck a kid up. I learn from the best.
Phrasing.
Listen,
Okay. First of all, phrasing.
I can only say something so many times.
yes,
Of course, don't mean it how it sounds, but
No,
wherever I'm at, I don't care if I'm at Wegmans. I don't care who's watching. If I get
Same.
canceled, I'll grab my kid up if I have to.
Well, they can only cancel you if you let them cancel you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking at you.
My thing is this, and like he knows this literally firsthand. This is my firstborn. There is times where you have to, and like when you send out so many warning shots, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and they continue to do it, then obviously you have to lay down the hammer, and then hopefully they associate that ass whooping with what they did was wrong. But then also, if you look at other, I don't know, things that come into play when you have other people that you're co-parenting with or another support structure where everybody else is kind of like, oh my god, you can't do that, it's counterproductive because they're not learning from it. They will go to that person that says that you shouldn't be getting your butt whooped.
Yeah, you're going to be vilified.
Right, you're vilified, so they're not learning anything. So it's very like swimming upstream.
There's another outlook too, though. There's some kids I believe it just doesn't work on. Like me personally, it didn't work with me.
Usually kids with ADHD.
I was gonna push the boundary. I was gonna push the boundary further
He's
until
very oppositional.
until it became like borderline what he would do if he would.
Yeah.
You know, if he went too far, you know, it's on him.
So here's my question.
Hold on. We'll wrap this part up, and then I'll give you the mic here. Being of my perspective, because like I was the one actually being the parent, and like with the structure that was around him, he had the people that were enablers, and had them not enabled, like that phrase. When you and I grew up, you know this. Wait till your father gets home, which was my stepdad at the time. That was the greatest fear ever, dude. Because like you're like, there was the anticipation of the ass whooping was probably worse than the actual ass whooping.
It's Stone Cold walking through the door, baby.
You were patting your fucking pants with pillows or sheets, towels, whatever, so that belt came off. You knew, but he didn't. He didn't know that.
I remember I put
He
on
didn't
like
know
five.
that.
I put on like
So,
five pairs of jeans.
My
one
ass
time.
whoopings had to be. I whoop all you. I should be whooping all your asses that are enabling him.
Yeah.
But he's catching it on your behalf. So stop fucking enabling it. But yeah, there's a time and a place. I believe like you should be able to reason with a child, like and like let them know, hey, be supportive, be loving. But then again, like if they're going to sit there and push buttons, like you don't beat a child because you can beat a child.
Yes.
You can smack a child for disciplinary action.
Yep.
Okay, dude, you were warned 100 fucking times. Crack, and there it is. Be done with it.
Especially with a male, because that resonates with a child that's a physical being. Because even as boys, what do? They roughhouse with each other.
Doing it because you can do it is absolutely
cowardly.
Wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's fucking bully mentality. It's bullshit.
I just had to give my wild card answer for like YouTube short purposes in case you guys need to take.
Hell yeah!
We could always use more shorts.
I'm over here shocked. I'm like, what is he saying? Your show.
Because he was the voice of reason on that one, you know.
Okay, so
There's gotta be
here's
some-
the question
there's gotta be a
I want to
dynamic.
ask you guys, though, as the parents. Where is that line between the discipline and then the, for lack of a better
I
word,
know.
the abuse?
Me too.
Because from the viewpoint of the child or from the viewpoint of the people that are, quote unquote enabling, they're looking at it and they're just seeing the act itself as
As the evil
as
act.
the evil act.
I think that
But
line.
where is that line where it goes from discipline to abuse? Because if at a certain point physical discipline isn't going to work on the child either,
Sure.
so you can't keep going with that. So where is that? Like, where have you
I
experienced
think
that?
on
where
one,
it
on
didn't
one
work?
side on one side of that line, there's oh well, if I would have did this, what my parents would have did, so you feel like your kid deserves exactly what you had. Maybe even that wasn't right. And then the other side would be, what is what's appropriate for that child. What works with that child.
Everybody's got a different strike zone, and I don't mean that.
They do.
Not
on physically.
Where do you want it?
It's not like I heard.
Where do you
that
want
when
it,
I said
son?
it. But no, it's more like if you can redirect somebody positively and positive affirmation works, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But if you have they're gonna play the mom against the dad or the mom against like the whatever the structure is that's in existence, they're gonna go to the side that favors them.
Oh, yeah.
Before they go to that.
Yeah.
And whatever determines it being abuse is just like the ones that enable it are actually like
Creating the
they're
situation and
creating-
elongating it.
Yes. They're making it like a longer thing. Like, okay, he's going to get frustrated and crack you, and then we're going to call him the asshole, and you can sit with us.
Yep.
And when all they can say is like, dude. Then there's been times where I will let it. Back in the day, There's one time, he was getting at his mom, and he's going hard, like just like boom, 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 boom. And I was, he had a younger brother, and I was just watching it happen. I'm like, you better watch it, dude. You better watch it. Your mom gonna whoop your ass. Like I ain't the only one capable of doing it. And his mom, back in the day, could go.
Yeah.
And then I left with his brother, and then I got a call about 10 minutes later, and he's bawling. He's like, "Mom just whooped my ass way
why are
worse
you
than
doing
you
that?
ever did."
This is what we're doing right
No, and then I said, yeah, dude, because you gotta figure, like, the mom is not going to hold back. Like, she's gonna drive that point home, whereas when us as fathers, like, we're actually capable of crippling and maiming people, we have to kind of hold it in reserve, like,
But I think
sure.
ours is out of accountability. Theirs is out of emotion, frustration.
Yeah, theirs is just like full on rage.
And I think that's
like,
part of the line. Is
Yeah.
it out of frustration and anger, or is it out of I want to teach I want you to associate this ass whooping with what you did wrong?
Yeah. I can tell you that the majority of the times that I have to get either hands-on or physical or involved with the kids are when it comes to respect, because they can argue all they want. I'm not going to whip their ass. They can be as mean as they want, and I'm going to correct that. But the moment that it's either directed towards mom, me, my mom, like that's one that, even though her and I didn't have a great relationship, now when I see my kids say something, I don't sit there and coddle them at all, because I ask, who the fuck are you talking to? Grandma. That's my mom.
right.
So it seems
It always comes to respect, because to us as guys, that's what love actually is, respect. If you don't have it, check it.
So it seems like the line comes down to basically, is the kid just acting out because he wants the toy and or something, freaking out in the store, or is he being disrespectful and just treating people like crap and trying to step over people rather than just complaining, and you're getting frustrated with it. Because if you're getting frustrated and you hit it, that's more so you doing it just to do it.
That's your emotional response. Yeah.
Okay. Whereas you can be completely calm, strike the kid because they're being disrespectful or whatever, but it's not because you're just using that as a last resort out of your own emotion.
Right.
So, because the big issue that a lot of people have with the hitting your kids is the trauma and potential trauma that the kid could have because of that, because then they start associating you with not discipline but with pain.
Sure.
And a lot of times when people do hit their kids, it borders on abuse because they're trauma dumping from their childhood
Right, they're
onto
coping.
their kids.
They have maladaptive coping skills, and they're just like unleashing on another unwilling party.
But that's
or
why if
observing party.
you're the person doing the disciplining, though, that's where it's your job when you're beating their ass
Moderate it.
to to moderate and also know that it's associated with what the issue was.
Yeah.
Not just where it happens and I walk over and whop without saying a word.
Right.
Like I just said, who the fuck are you
And
talking to?
Men are different too in the regards that they will go over and lay down that little smackaroni and then be done with it.
Yeah, move on. That's what I say, move on.
Might just badger the dog shit out of you, and that might even be worse than the asshole.
It is.
So
It is
hurt,
worse.
yeah. And then they only receive like the first 5 minutes of it. After that, it's like white noise, like fucking end it.
Let's
please.
block it
Like,
out.
Can Dad just beat me?
Yes. Yes.
Or something like that,
Yeah.
So
Well, I think the reason for that is because men, we tend to be more aggressive,
Yeah.
so we tend to respond better to that kind of thing than like the badgering,
right.
and it's just, I think it comes down to that personal accountability that we were talking about earlier with like, the gym girls dressed like sluts, for lack of a better word,
Right.
and so it comes down to the parents looking at themselves first and dealing with their own emotions and trauma. Well, like, you know what I mean? Like,
The
instead
whole
of
model
just,
of the thing is supposed to be you're supposed to be the person you needed when you were a kid.
Yes.
And that's what I try to do. My whole parental life, that's what I tried to do. Like, and I wasn't 100%.
No, we misstep all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, and then I'm like, well, and he kind of sees it now, like, with his son, he'll be like, oh, like, and I'm now grandfather where I just go, here's where I probably should have did it differently with you, and he adjusts to it.
Yes.
Like, he's done a marvelous job with the way
I
he
always
does
I always catch myself like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, just because
Like-
this is what would have happened to me doesn't mean that this is appropriate for
happen to
him
him.
because
Right.
he's a whole different he's a whole different human.
He's his own person.
Different strike
Yeah.
zone. But anyways, we've been on this Beaten Kids thing for a while here.
Well, I
Let's
have
move
one more
on to
question.
the third thing. We're going to make this very brief, and then we're going to have more to come. But like, our third topic is about some iced coffee and psych meds. It's a song that was written and produced by this tattooed guy sitting next to me. Y'all might know him as Wizzy.
Written but not produced.
Not produced.
I did engineer the vocals and all the chops, and I rearranged the beat, but technically not produced. So I just want to
produced
clarify
it?
on that.
So we're going to play it because he has a copyright to it. It's his shit. So we're not going to get flagged on it.
And just so everybody knows,
Copyrights?
we are going to go silent when we're playing it too, so mics are going to be off. That way we don't create any feedback for you guys, so you guys can actually check it out and listen to
And
it.
then we'll talk about the inspiration as to why you wrote it and, where you can find it. We'll put the link in the description if you want to jam out to it. And, yeah, you let me know when you're ready to cue that up, and I will mute the mic.
Go ahead and mute them.
Hey yo, bud, you real nutty.
You always be from the 90s. Ay, I feel like I'm Batman in a nicey. New perks in, they a little too spicy. New gas in for the low light light. Now what's happening on her IG? She did a line and said, do you still like me? Still cute, honestly, you just surprised me. Cause you know, can't wait to do you grind me. She just took a second mess with her iced coffee. White friends and she doing more. She don't like men, she a little thoughty. She don't like men, we got a lot in common. She voted Biden, she a little calming. Did your friends told her come and taught me? Fucking with me cause she know I'm toxic. Self-care working on her body. Self-care working. She told me delete the video, okay. But I did not delete the video. I won't leave the video, she go to school for nursing. Flexing like a freak, better do that in person. She know I'ma get her what she asked for. You know who put them stamps on your passport. You know who put them stamps on your passport. She just took a second mess with her iced coffee. White friends, she doing more. She don't like men, she a little thoughty. She don't like men, we got a lot in common. She voted Biden, she a little. Did your friends told her come and taught me? Fucking with me cause she know I'm toxic. Self-care working on her body. Self-care working. New person,
It's over.
All right. Are you back too?
I'm back.
Okay.
Already did it.
So why don't you take us through that?
All right, so it's a pretty deep song. It's very deep.
How deep?
No, not really. It's really just something I had fun with. I wanted people to hear it, and I wanted people to smile, move around to it. It was about a girl that I was seeing, and yeah, she was pretty hot. Surface level. But this whole time,
Now I'm interested.
It was a girl that I wanted to get with for a while, and that opportunity finally arrives where we crossed paths, and I was hanging out with her, and I was trying to gather her red flags. And we were
That
just
could take a
chilling. We
while.
were chilling there the one
Aren't they
night.
called tampons?
We were chilling there the one night.
Only in Russia.
It was probably 11:30 at night, and she pulls out a bottle of psych. Oh, she's like, I gotta take my psych meds, and I'm like, all right, cool, And she's like,
It's about
she has
30
an iced
flags on a
she has an
monthly
iced
basis.
coffee that she pulls out of her purse. Coffee in her purse. Which
Keep
was
that
weird.
thing on her.
That was weird. And so
Wait,
I
there was
just
still
saw
ice
I
in
just
it?
saw her do that, and I was just like, okay, that's what's wrong with her. And so the next day, I was just inspired to go in the studio, and I heard this beat, and I thought it sounded fun enough. And the first thing I was thinking of was she just took her psych meds with an iced coffee, and that was the foundation for that whole song. None of it was wrote down; it was all pretty much improv.
Hell yeah.
And,
Nice.
Yeah.
So what you guys just heard, I heard it just a few minutes before you guys
But
too.
I do feel as though it really embodies like my personality.
Hell yeah.
Musically and in person, if people really get to know me.
Yep. We will be dropping his link in this one too. So if anybody checks it out, this is our first testing stream that we have out there. But I can tell you, we listened to it a few minutes before we let you guys listen to it, and the first thing I said to him was, "Damn, that sounds like something you hear on the radio."
Oh yeah. I've heard worse on the radio.
Oh, I have
100%.
There's a lot of them. Without a doubt.
Is he having a seizure? No, that's Star 104.
Wow. That's Monty's next hit right there.
For sure.
Oh my god.
I don't know what we're gonna call it, but we might just call it Jesus Trucking Christ.
Alright.
Jesus Christ, that's
Jesus
Jason Bourne.
Trucking Christ with the fucking accent in the back row.
Took me forever to understand that gif.
And now you got
They got it today, guys.
You got
Where's
it.
the gif?
How about the speaking of, we talked about hot girls in yoga pants, and I didn't see my idea come to fruition on the screen. We had a button for that.
Oh, yeah. So we actually had this whole thing set up quite a while ago. We lost it, unfortunately.
No, I
So
think you got that back.
nope, I didn't, because I never reprogrammed that one through.
Shit.
But we had a bunch of different interactivities, and we'll be getting them very back
Can
soon.
you hotkey those little videos?
You can hotkey anything. I can even pop up, like, if we're doing
gotta
this
do the
podcast,
you gotta
guys,
do
and
the
we have
David
something to
one.
show you actually on the internet, we can pop that up to any of that stuff can be brought in. So I'm kind of the technicality guy where I'm going to be helping out with this piece so we can have these fun, awkward, fun conversations.
I'm just here to be huge.
Also, hit the store, man. Go to the Streamlabs store. We got Stay Moist merch. We've got some, some Don't Raise Victims merch.
Just the tip, of course.
Just the tip, of course.
It's not that graphic for that one. Sure.
No, it's really cool. We got dog bowls on there. We got shirts, hoodies, pants, sneakers, bucket hats, visors. Support the channel. That way we can bring you better and more elaborate content and more frequent content. Because once this starts to pay for itself, we can say goodbye to some of these other things that we have to do to make money.
Yeah.
Because we hustling.
That's right. There is going to be a schedule. We'll all talk about it. We will have it posted for you guys. That way you can expect when to see the next piece and also know when to join us, guys. But I do appreciate anybody that tunes into this either during or after. If you have any comments, leave them into our video so we can check them out. But my name is Josh.
I'm Monty.
I'm Justin.
King Benjamin Cage.
And we will catch you guys soon.
Stay moist.
Stay moist.